Okay, if you go overseas, sometimes you can't find some ingredients that you absolutely love. So I'm reading this on social, and there's somebody that posted, if you like ranch dressing, you're not going to find it in places like Ireland. And so this person's friend had gone to Ireland, had actually moved there, came home to visit some family in the States, and ended up taking back like a jug of ranch dressing, so they always had it.
For real?
Yeah, I'm like, Amazon, they deliver anywhere.
Anywhere?
I mean, pretty much.
That would probably take a few days.
I mean, but
a
still.
week or so.
Better than trying to check your gallon of
That makes
ranch
sense
dressing.
because that's an American thing, ranch dressing.
Yeah, I guess.
Right?
But I wouldn't have thought about it beforehand. Now that it's brought to attention, I'm like, that makes total sense. Something else they couldn't get was cottage cheese. I'm like, okay.
I get that too.
I can live the rest of my life without
You
it. It's all right.
probably can't get chicken wings or anything like that in some places around the globe.
Maybe they call them drumettes or something like
They
that.
call what?
Drumettes.
Drumettes?
Maybe. I don't know.
That sounds right
sounds
to
a very
me.
English word.
I was hearing Ninja saying that Dusty went to the UK, and what did he have to make for himself in the UK?
He had to make sweet tea because this tea is a normal thing every single day and for community. And so he decided, he stayed at a host home with a family. He made sweet tea for them and they were mind blown.
Did they like
"What in
it?
the world?"
They like-
They're not used to that type of sweetness over there.
Right.
So they
Yeah.
were like, whoa, that's really sweet.
Yeah, there's American sweet, and then there's the rest of the world sweet.
Well, there is the South Suite.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
even Scott can testify to that.
Yeah, I feel like I was out of the country. I went to the northeast corner of North Carolina once, tried to get sweet tea, and they did not know what sweet tea was. They said, "Can we bring you a pack of sugar?" And I said, "No, it's totally different." So I felt like I was in a different country, yet I was still here.
Was this
in
like
country.
the Outer Banks? Where were you?
Kinda, yeah, kind of in that Outer Banks area.
And they didn't have sweet tea?
Well, listen,
And
that's
they didn't know sweet tea. Can you
Outer-
believe it? I was shocked. I really was.
Depending upon where you are in the Outer Banks, there's parts of the Outer Banks that are really close to Virginia.
Virginia doesn't have sweet tea?
No.
What?
No, the sweet tea is only a South thing. It's not an
No,
American
I
thing.
knew it was only a South thing because my mom's family is from Ohio. You don't get sweet tea there.
We got a call from Dave about sweet tea. What's up here, Dave?
Well, listen, I was talking to this girl from Boston one time and telling her, I said, well, you guys don't even have sweet tea up there. And she says, of course we have sweet tea. McDonald's invented it. I said, what? So apparently McDonald's has taken sweet tea out of the South to other parts of the country. I just wanted you to know that.
Did you end up dating her, Dave?
No, I did not. Sorry.
I get it.
So get that.
Diane, okay, so she heard Scott talking about going to some part of North Carolina and not being able to find sweet tea, that like they acted like they didn't know what it was. So Diane texted and said, okay, what is wrong, North Carolina? No sweet tea. When I used to make it, I used 2 cups of sugar. The next day, I added a little water to it because it got so concentrated after it sat out, overnight in the fridge. That's some thick tea.
Right?
Wow.
I grew up in Virginia Beach, and I was able to get fresh brewed sweet tea from any restaurant or anyone's house I went to. They always had a picture of fresh brewed sweet tea. But up north, when I would visit my grandma in Michigan, if I asked for sweet tea, they always came out with the can. So I didn't really understand that as a kid, but I do know Virginia Beach does have fresh brewed sweet tea.
That's a shocker that tea is in a can for Ninja.
Yeah.
You
It
never
seems like more of a soda thing.
It does, right? You're right. But there is a couple of brands that do sell sweet tea in a can.
I think Lipton has one, but yeah, the bottles are I think better.
And
I
then
think.
Snapple is in a bottle.
Yeah.
I don't think they're in a can.
I don't think so.
I
Not
don't-
that I know of.
I don't think so either.
Uh-uh.
Here's Jim at 800-447-7234. Hey, Jim.
Calling about y'all talking about the sweet tea down in Orlando area, and we were staying in Kissimmee, and my daughter ordered sweet tea at the restaurant, The waiter looked at her and said, "Sweetheart, this isn't the South. We don't have sweet tea." And my daughter looked at the waiter and said, "For starters, I'm not your sweetheart." And in our history class, we learned that Florida is in the South.
I know, so funny. Being a guy from Central Florida, I can tell you most of the people from Central Florida come from either overseas or Michigan, Ohio, New Jersey, and New York. And so it's like you're living in the North. And so there's no sweet tea in Central Florida. You can barely find it anywhere.
So we found that out, and we also discovered that Florida isn't in the South.